Olivia Newton John is one of the greatest singers of all time. She has won 4 Grammy Awards and had 15 top 10 songs, 5 number 1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, and 2 number 1 albums on the Billboard 200. But just seconds before she died at age 73, the late music star confirmed what we already knew. If you want to know what she said, keep watching. Olivia Newton John is the best-selling female Australian recording artist of all time and one of the best-selling music acts of all time. She has sold over 100 million records. Before we talk about how she confirmed our suspicions, let's take a look at her early years, the best parts of her work, and her personal life. Who is Olivia Newton John? Olivia Newton John was born in Cambridge on September 26, 1948. Her parents are Brinley Bryn Newton John and Irene Helene. Brinley, her dad, was born and raised in Wales in a middle-class family. Her mother was born and raised in Germany. She comes from a Jewish academic family that left Germany for the UK in 1933 to avoid the Nazis. Olivia's family tree is full of important people who have left their mark on history in some way. Max Born, Olivia's maternal grandfather, was a German Jewish scientist who won the Nobel Prize. Victor Ehrenberg was a German Jewish lawyer, and Helene Agatha von Jering was his Lutheran wife. Her maternal grandmother, Hedwig, was their daughter. Martin Luther was a Protestant scholar, and Newton John was related to him through Helene Agatha. She was also related to an unknown Spanish king or queen. A lawyer named Rudolf von Jering was Helene Agatha's father and Newton John's great-great-grandfather. Gustav Victor Rudolf was Newton John's uncle and a pharmacologist. Comic Ben Elton was a third cousin of Olivia's through her Ehrenberg line. Newton John's Olivia's father was an MI5 officer who worked on the Enigma project at Bletchley Park and was in charge of arresting Rudolf Hess during WWII. After the war, he became the teacher of the Cambridgeshire High School for Boys. Olivia was born while he was in this job. Olivia was the youngest of 3 children. Her brother Hugh is a doctor, and her sister Rona is an actor who was married to restaurant owner Brian Goldsmiths, and then married Olivia's co-star in Grease, Jeff Conaway, from 1980 until they got divorced 5 years later. She also had a half-brother named Toby and a half-sister named Sarah. Both of them were born from her dad's second marriage. Olivia was 5 years old when her family moved to Melbourne, Victoria, on the SS Strathard in early 1954. She had a father who taught German and was in charge of Ormond College at the University of Melbourne. Olivia Newton John went to College High School in Parkville and then Christ Church Grammar School in the Melbourne area of South Yarra. Daryl Braithwaite, a famous singer, was her first-grade teacher. At age 14, Olivia and 3 classmates started an all-girls band called Soul 4. They played at a coffee shop owned by Olivia's brother-in-law. Olivia wanted to be a doctor at first, but she changed her mind when she started to worry about her ability to do well on science tests. Stay tuned to find out how Olivia Newton John got better at playing. Olivia's acting skills were first noticed when she played Lady Mary Lassenby in The Admirable Crichton at her university high school. She won second place for the Young Sons Drama Award for Best Schoolgirl Actor. After that, she started appearing regularly on Australian TV shows like Time for Terry and The Happy Show on HSV7, where she played Lovely Livy. She was also on The Go Show, which is where she met singer Pat Carroll, who would become her duet partner, and John Farrar, who would become her music director. In 1965, she competed in and won a talent show on the TV show Sing, 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 which was hosted by Johnny O'Keefe, an Australian star of the 1960s. Anyone Who Had a Heart and Everything's Coming Up Roses were 2 of the songs she sang. At first, she didn't want to use her prize, which was a trip to Great Britain. But after her mother told her to expand her horizons, she went almost a year later. Even though she was in Britain, Newton John missed her boyfriend at the time, Ian Turpie. The two of them had worked together in the 1965 Australian TV movie Funny Things Happen Down Under. She planned many trips back to Australia, but her mother always had to cancel them, which ended their long-distance romance. In 1966, Newton John recorded her first song for Decca Records in Britain. It was called Till You Say You'll Be Mine. When Pat Carroll went to the UK, Newton John's mood changed. They got together as a pair and played in clubs across Europe as Pat and Olivia. They were booked at Paul Raymond's Revue in Soho, London, and didn't know it was a strip club until they started performing on stage in fancy dresses with frilly collars. Both of them later found this funny. During this time, she and Carroll added background vocals to many other artists' records, including the Easy Beats song Come In. You'll Get Pneumonia. Carroll had to go back to Australia when his visa ran out, but Olivia stayed in Britain to work on her own. Olivia was lucky, and she was quickly picked up by American director Don Kirshner to join the group Tomorrow. The group was in the 1970 science fiction musical Tomorrow and also made a soundtrack recording for it, which was released by RCA Records. Both the album and the movie were named after the group. The group put out 2 singles that same year. They were called You're My Baby Now Going Back and I Could Never Live Without Your Love Roll Like a River. Sadly, neither song made it to the top of the charts. The group broke up because the idea didn't work out. Olivia's first record by herself was called If Not For You and came out in 1971. In the UK, the record came out under the name Olivia Newton John. The title track, which was written by Bob Dylan, was her first foreign hit. It reached number 25 on the US pop charts. Banks of the Ohio, her next song, was a top 10 hit in the UK and Australia, but only made it to number 94 in the US. Record Mirror magazine named her the best British female vocalist for 2 years in a row. She also appeared on Cliff Richard's weekly show It's Cliff Richard and acted in the telefilm The Case with him. What Is Life, Newton John's single from 1972, didn't make much of an effect in the United States. Because of this, her second studio record, Olivia, was never officially released in the US. After that, her songs Take Me Home and Country Roads didn't do very well either. But when Let Me Be There came out in 1973, her luck changed. The song made it to the top 10 of the pop charts in the United States. It also won her a Grammy for Best Country Female and an Academy of Country Music Award for Most Promising Female Vocalist. Let Me Be There, her third studio album, came out in November 1973. In Britain, it was renamed Music Makes My Day. There was a different set of songs on the US and Canadian versions. They included some new songs, Olivia songs, and 6 songs from the out-of-print album If Not For You. Olivia sang Long Live Love as the UK's entry in the Eurovision Song Contest in 1974. The British people picked the song from 6 others that could have been entered. Olivia afterwards said that she didn't like the song. She came in 4th place at the event in Brighton, behind ABBA's Waterloo, which won in Sweden. Olivia recorded all 6 of her Eurovision entries of Love Will Travel, Lovin' You Ain't Easy, Long Live Love, Someday, Angel Eyes, and Hands Across the Sea. They are all on her first album for EMI Records, Long Live Love. In the US and Canada, the record Long Live Love came out as If You Love Me, Let Me Know. To cash in on the success of Let Me Be There, all of the Eurovision entries were replaced with new, country-flavored songs. The North American entry used parts from Long Live Love, Olivia, and Music Makes My Day, with only the title cut being brand new. It was number 1 on both the pop albums chart and the country albums list. The first song from If You Love Me, Let Me Know was the title track, which got to number 5 on the pop charts, number 2 on the country charts, and number 2 on the AC charts. I Truly Love You, Newton John's next hit, became his most famous song. Jeff Barry and Peter Allen wrote and produced the ballad, which became Newton John's first pop number 1 and stayed there for 2 weeks. It was also her second AC number 1 and stayed there for 3 weeks, and it was her third top 10 country number 6 hit. The song also won her 2 more Grammys for Record of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Performance Female. Newton John wrote her autobiography called Don't Stop Believin' in 1998. In it, she talks about I Honestly Love You as a song that is so simple but has a message that is deeper than the ocean. Her award for Female Vocalist of the Year from the British Country Music Association was given to her in London, England, in 1974. Olivia's fame shot through the roof when she played Sandy in the 1978 movie version of the Broadway show Grease. She was given the part after meeting director Alan Carr at Helen Reddy's house for a dinner party. Newton John insisted on a screen test with the movie's co-lead, John Travolta, because she was disappointed by her experience with Tomorrow and thought she was too old to play a high school senior. Olivia played some of the movie's music during her second American network TV show, Olivia, which had ABBA and Andy Gibb as guests. Grease was a huge hit at the box office and was the biggest movie of 1978. The soundtrack album was number 1 for 12 weeks in a row and produced 3 top 5 songs. You're the One That I Want with John Travolta, Hopelessly Devoted to You, and Summer Night with John Travolta and the rest of the group. Olivia Newton John held 2 songs in the Billboard Top 5 at the same time, Hopelessly Devoted to You and Summer Nights. Linda Ronstadt was the first woman to do this. The soundtrack has sold more than any other album ever. Universal Music Group UMG was sued by Newton John's company UMG Productions Ltd in June 2016 for unpaid royalties from the Grease soundtrack. The claim was for $1 million. The news came out in 2007 that she and UMG had reached a conditional deal. Olivia won the People's Choice Award for Favorite Film Actress for her role. As Best Actress in a Musical, she was up for a Golden Globe, and at the 1969 Academy Awards, she sang Hopelessly Devoted to You, which was up for an Oscar. The movie has stayed famous for a long time. It was re-released in 1998 to mark the film's 10th anniversary. In its first weekend, it was the second most successful movie of all time, after Titanic. Following Olivia Newton John's death in August 2022, AMC said that the movie would be shown again in some of its theaters over the weekend, with some of the money raised going to breast cancer research. Before she died, Newton John was traveling and performing concerts from 2012 to 2017, and also did a few shows in 2018 before she died. As part of her tour for a summer night with Olivia Newton John, she even went to Asia and Canada. The tour ended with a rare performance appearance in London in 2013. Her trip around the UK in March 2013 also took her to Bournemouth, Brighton, Birmingham, Manchester, and Cardiff, Wales. Olivia and John Travolta worked together on the charity record This Christmas in November 2012 to raise money for the Olivia Newton John Cancer Wellness Center and the Jet Travolta Foundation. Barbra Streisand, James Taylor, Chick Corea, Kenny G, Tony Bennett, Cliff Richard, and the Count Basie Orchestra are some of the artists on the record. Her 2013 engagement at the Flamingo Las Vegas had to be pushed back because her older sister Rona died of a brain tumor in May 2013. She went back to work and did more than 45 shows starting in April 2014. Along with the Vegas shows, she released a new EP in April called Hotel Sessions. It had 7 songs of demos that she had recorded with her nephew Brett Goldsmith between 2002 and 2011, but had not been released before. The CD has a cover of Broken Wings and the original Best of My Love, which fans love and which was leaked on the internet many years ago. Olivia's stay in Las Vegas ended up going on past August 14th, 2014, and her Summer Nights engagement ended in December 2016, after 175 shows. Her 3-year run was so popular that she made a fourth live album called Summer Nights Live in Las Vegas. Newton John also got back together with John Farnham in 2000 for a project called Two Strong Hearts Live. She was a guest judge on an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race the same year, and got her first #1 song on the Dance Club Songs chart with You Have to Believe, which she made with her daughter Chloe and producer Dave Aud. The song was an updated version of her original single from 1980 called Magic. She said she did it to honor the 35th anniversary of Xanadu and as a gift to her daughter. Olivia Newton John was added to the Music Victoria Hall of Fame in 2015. Between 2016 and 2017, she worked with two North American singer-songwriters. Beth Nielsen Chapman and Amy Sky are on a joint concert tour called Live on This is after making a CD with the same name together in 2016. Hugh, Olivia's older brother, died on May 7, 1999, at the age of 80. This left Olivia as the only living member of her original family. As a reward for her generosity and hard work as an entertainer, she was given Australia's greatest honour, the Companion of the Order of Australia, in June 1999. Olivia and Travolta also worked together again in December for 3 live Meet and Grease sing-along events in Tampa, West Palm Beach, and Jacksonville, Florida. After that, a sing-along version of Grease was shown again on CBS. Newton John played at a charity event for Firefight Australia in February 2000. This was her last show in public. Window in the Wall, a duet about unity that she recorded with her daughter Chloe Latanzi, was her last track. It came out in January 2021. The song's music video reached the top of the iTunes Pop Music Video chart the first week it came out. The questions about Olivia's nationality. Olivia Newton John was born in Britain but spent most of her childhood in Australia. In the beginning, she tried to become an Australian citizen in 1981, and Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser was asked to speed up the process. But in 1994, she finally became an Australian citizen. When she moved from England to the United States in late 1994, she settled in Malibu, California. For 35 years, she owned a horse ranch and several beachfront homes. When Olivia was asked in 2016 if she thought of herself as a British, Australian, or American citizen, she said, "I am still Australian." When she was given the title of Dame in December 1999, she thanked everyone by saying, "As a girl born in Cambridge, England, I'm very proud of my British heritage and grateful that the UK has recognized it in this way." Her love life. Olivia dated Australian actor and singer Ian Turpie in the mid-1960s. They worked together in the 1965 musical film Funny Things Happen Down Under. During the year 1963, they met when Turpie went to the coffee shop where Olivia's band Soul 4 played. The couple stayed together until she moved back to England in 1966. Olivia was engaged to Bruce Welch in 1968, but they never got married. Bruce was one of Olivia's early managers and helped write her hit song Please Mr. Please. It was in 1972 that Olivia broke up with Welch, who later chose not to stay with us anymore. In 1973, she met British businessman Lee Kramer on vacation on the French Riviera. He became her boyfriend and boss. From time to time, she lived with Kramer, and they were together until 1969. She said that their rough relationship was like a long breakup. After that, Kramer went back to England and got married. Olivia then married actor Matt Latanzi, who had been living with her for a long time, in December 1984. They first met in 1988, while making the movie Xanadu. In April 1995, they said they were splitting up, and a year later they got divorced. People magazine says that close friends and family of the couple say that the main reason for the breakup was that her spiritual hobbies were different from his more earthly ones. They kept being friends. Chloe Rose, their daughter, was born in January 1968. Olivia met cameraman and gaffer Patrick McDermott not long after she split up with Latanzi. They went out 9 years, on and off. McDermott, on the other hand, mysteriously disappeared while fishing off the coast of California in 1995. Olivia was at her Gaia retreat spa in Australia when McDermott went missing. In 2008, the U.S. Coast Guard looked into McDermott's disappearance and found signs that she may have been lost at sea. A friend told the investigators that McDermott had seemed sad but not hopeless after their breakup. In April 2010, however, a private investigator hired by an American TV show said that McDermott is still living and that he faked his death to get money from his life insurance. Newton John first met John Easterling in 1993. Easterling was the founder and president of the Amazon Herb Company, which John started in 1990 and sold to Trevita, Inc. in 2012. Easterling is an eco-entrepreneur who goes by the name Amazon John. He used to sell plants from the jungle and now owns and runs Happy Tree Microbes, a company that makes natural products that help plants do better. They were both married to other people when they met for the first time. In 2007, they started going out together. On June 21, 2008, they got married in an Incan spiritual wedding in Peru. 9 days later, on Jupiter Island, they had a legal ceremony. Olivia's cancer made it hard for them to spend much time together as a pair. Watch the video to learn about her battle, which most summed up how tough the music great was. The brave battle Olivia Newton John fought with breast cancer. For 30 years, she told the public about her treatments and her unwavering hope. Olivia was first diagnosed with cancer in 1992. After that, she focused on building a life without the disease and adopting a way of thinking that put family, learning, and the promise of alternative medicine first. She later said that she was first told she had cancer on the same weekend that her father died of cancer. Newton John said that during her 20-year battle, she had a partial hysterectomy, chemotherapy, and breast reconstruction. In 2000, she was dealing with stage 4 invasive breast cancer. This was her third battle with the illness since 1992. On May 17, 2016, it was reported that Newton John's breast cancer had come back and spread to her lower back. At first, her back pain was thought to be caused by sciatica. She later said that this was actually her third battle with breast cancer, since she had a relapse in 2013 in addition to the first time she was diagnosed. It was the 17th time that the cancer had spread to her bones and reached stage 5. She said that the metastatic bone tumors were causing her a lot of pain and that she had talked about using cannabis oil to help. Olivia pushed for medical marijuana use, and her daughter Chloe runs a weed farm in Oregon. The famous singer died at her home in California's Santa Ynez Valley on August 8, 2002. She was 73 years old. There were tributes from John Travolta, Barbra Streisand, Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, and many other famous people. As a way to show respect, Melbourne and Sydney lit up many of their famous sites. In September 1992, Olivia Newton John asked to be cremated and have her ashes spread in Byron Bay, on her Santa Ynez Ranch, and other places she loved. Her family held a small, private funeral service for her in California. Olivia finally admitted something we all thought she knew all along in the last few months before she died. She was 73 years old. If you want to know, keep watching. What actually did Olivia get in? During her last few precious moments, Olivia set out to make one last song, a duet with her daughter Chloe. Even though she was in terrible pain from the cancer spreading through her body. While she was sick, her husband Easterling made a duet with Dolly Parton. He said it was another example of how she could share her gift with the world. Easterling said in an interview after Olivia's death that Olivia had said that everyone has a gift that is unique and important to them. He went on to say that Olivia had admitted that her gift was to sing, which she did so freely throughout her life by using her voice and words to uplift people and give them hope. More so, her last song with her daughter Chloe. If we had any doubts, this admission proved them she was a truly talented singer whose life's goal was to bless our ears with soul-lifting sounds and angelic performances. Her songs will always be a part of our hearts. Olivia Newton John and Chloe Latanzi released a song called Window in the Wall as a way to bring people together and help them heal during these very difficult times in the world. Olivia Newton John showed herself to be a pretty versatile performer long before and after the career peak of Grease. She played her instrument on everything from sad ballads and from rock soul passion and new age soul searching. The music has it all. A lot of other female singers like Juliana Hatfield, Lisa Loeb, Kylie Minogue, Delta Goodrem, Natalie Maines, and Alanis Morissette have been influenced by Newton John's work. In honor of Newton John, Pink put on a tribute cover at the 1992 American Music Awards. Natalie Imbruglia, Peking Duke, and Tones and I all performed at the ARIA Music Awards as part of a tribute to her. Olivia left a musical legacy, but she was also a devoted giver and humanitarian who supported many projects and stood with others in protests and acts of unity throughout her life. Watch as we look at some of her most amazing acts of kindness that show what a wonderful person she was. In the year 1978, Olivia canceled a musical tour of Japan to speak out against the killing of dolphins caught in tuna nets. After that, she changed the dates of the tour after the Japanese government told her that the practice would stop. For dolphin lovers, she wrote and released the song The Promise, also known as the Dolphin Song, for the Physical album in 1981. In 1979, she performed on the Music for UNICEF concert for the United Nations International Year of the Child, which was shown all over the world on TV. A lot of the artists at the concert played songs for which they gave their royalties to the cause, some for life. In the 1990s, Olivia Newton John beat her fight with breast cancer. She learned more about herself through the process and became an inspiration to millions of people who are fighting cancer. Olivia became more well-known and respected as a breast cancer survivor because she was honest about her fight and raised awareness about how important it is to find breast cancer early. Because she beat cancer herself, she announced that she would be working with the Austin Repatriation Medical Center to open the Olivia Newton John Cancer Center on the Austin campus in Melbourne, Australia, where she grew up. There are many services and facilities at the ONJCC that can be used for cancer treatment, education, training, and study. Olivia Newton John gave a huge chunk of her personal fortune to the foundation and health center 3 years before she died. This was an amazing act of kindness that she did right before she died. Olivia also works as an ambassador for the UN Environmental Program, and for 10 years was a spokeswoman for the Children's Health, Environmental, and Mental Health Coalition Czech. It takes a lot of her time to help groups like the Red Cross, the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, the Rainforest Alliance, and Concept Cure. She also became famous for promoting the Olivia Breast Self-Exam Kit. This was part of her plan to raise knowledge about cancer. Olivia's famous career and money. The Traverse City Record Eagle reported that Olivia made most of her money from selling records. She sold more than 100 million CDs. IMDb says she had more than 25 top 40 songs, including 5 number 1 hits in the United States. When it came out in 1981, Physical, an edgy song about sex, stayed at the top of the charts for 10 weeks. You're the One That I Want, a duet with John Travolta from the hit movie Grease, sold 15 million records in 1978. In 1981, she got a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame for her work as a recording artist. However, her acting and recording jobs went hand in hand. Newton John is a very good actor, and her career took off when Grease came out. She went on to star in Xanadu and Two of a Kind, among other movies and TV shows. Biography says that Grease is still the most successful show of all time in the United States. The multi-hyphenate has won many awards and honors over the years, according to IMDb. Her star on Hollywood Boulevard is just one of them. She is a well-known and liked star who has won 4 People's Choice Awards, 2 Grammys, and a Daytime Emmy. Who gets Olivia's money? The singer married an actor, Matt Lattanzi, in 1984, and had their only child, Chloe Rose Lattanzi, who is now 36 years old. Olivia also married John Easterling in 2008, and he is also said to be expecting to receive her money along with Chloe. She set up a donor-advised fund and a charitable trust and gave a lot of money to charity while she was alive. It is said that she still had a $60 million estate when she died. Many people think that her husband John Easterling and her daughter Chloe Rose will receive her estate, but the specifics of her will are still unknown. She did, however, give her husband the $5.5 million horse ranch in California before she died. Click the subscribe button and click the next video that comes up if you like this one.